Thank you for choosing to watch this video, in which I'll be tying a variation of the classic F Fly. Start by mounting your hook in the vise and checking the hold. Here I'm using one of Flowmill's Gape Barbless hooks in a size 16. This is a good strong short shank hook, making it a good choice for this style of fly. Next we catch on our tying thread. Here we're using Semperfli's classic wax thread in 12 knot grey colour. Once it's caught on, trim away the waste end, and then we'll catch in the body material before we form the underbody. The body on this one is some of Flowmill's excellent turkey biot in a blue dun. When you pull it off the feather stem, there's a notch at one side of the biot. You want to tie the biot in with this pointing downwards, which will give you a nice ribbed effect. So we catch the biot in down to the end of the body, and we take the thread back up to the top of the body where we want to tie the wing in, and we'll pull off the waste end of the biot. As the biot's quite a fragile material, I want to reinforce it, and to do this I'll put a small or thin layer of Flowmill's fishing glue on the underbody before winding the biot. Take your time to make sure you've only got a little bit of glue on the brush, and just touch it along the top of the body. Winding the biot will spread the glue round and should make this body fly a bit more robust. Catch the biot in your hackle pliers and take our time while winding this, especially with the first couple of turns, as it's quite a fragile material and could be prone to breaking, and also making sure we've got a nice overlapping turns to create a nice consistent body. Noting to space out your turns as you wind the body and the biot widens to give a nice segmented effect. As the biot gets thicker up towards where the head of the fly will be, it starts to get a little bit more cramped, but you could probably squeeze in one more turn than you think. And then catch it in with a couple of wraps of thread, and then trim away the waste, and we can then tidy up the tying point, ready to tie in the wing. For this fly we'll use a wing of natural CDC. 3 or 4 feathers should be plenty. We'll roughly line them up with making sure the feathers all curve in the same direction, and then tie them in. As we're tying this wing in as per the original tying, we don't need to worry too much about getting the tips lined up or the exact length, because we'll cut the wing to length after it's tied in. So catch the feathers in on top of the hook with a couple of wraps of thread and trim away the waste ends. So we're taking a little time this to try and make it as neat as possible and keep the head as clean as possible. Once you've trimmed off the waste ends, tidy up the tying point and form, as I say, a nice neat head. And then put on our whip finish. As usual, 3 turns should be plenty for this fly. Trim off your thread, and then we can trim the wing to length, which is just beyond the bend of the hook. Should be just right for this fly. All that remains now is to finish off the head of the fly. For this I'm using some of Slara's Bone Dry Clear UV resin. You note I've cut down the brush on this to help me get more accurate with the application. Take your time and make sure you don't get any of the resin into the body or at the wing of the fly. Once you're happy that you've got the head coated, and set the resin with your UV torch, and that's the fly finished. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel to be kept up to date with future videos. As always, any comments and feedback are always welcome, and please let me know if there are any patterns you'd like to see me tie.